Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta again. I am your host, Keisha Lancelin. Thanks so much for continuing to watch. In this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about Unhooked, Free Yourself from Addiction, the newest book from Dr. Jaffe. Hi, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, give me a little history, give me a little background. What was it that made you say, you know what, I think that I can help people navigate this a little bit better. I think that I can give some tips, some tools. What was it that made you want to do that?
Well, 23 years ago, I was pretty badly addicted to a whole slew of drugs, but meth was the one that took me down. I actually ended up serving a year in jail around this. And I was incredibly lost myself. And so I've taken the last 20 years. I went back, I went to school. I couldn't get a job because I was an ex-con, and went back to school, got my master's and my PhD, always studying psychology and neuroscience to understand what happened and how could I prevent it and how could I help other people to do the same thing. So what I've done in this book is I've distilled 20 years of work that allowed me to go from 124-pound meth addicted guy in jail to somebody who's not only able to write, but have a family. You know, I'm in the best shape of my life. My career's going well. I want to help give people a shortcut so it doesn't take them 10, 15, 20 years, but at least they can get it started right now in the new year and start a brand new life.
Oh, I love that. You know, for so many people, that's all they need, right? Is a push in the right direction, a kind of a roadmap. It all seems so daunting. When you are strapped with recovery, that's your 24/7. That's all that you can think about in maintaining that recovery. And sometimes when you don't, when you slip or when people fall is when they don't have that roadmap. They don't have something to kind of look back on and say, okay, well, this is what to do when you're feeling this way, or this is what to do when you're in this situation. That's exactly what you're providing.
Yeah, exactly. So literally what I try to do, I work with thousands of people. This has worked in my own life. And what I try to do is exactly what you just, Keisha, I try to create a really, really simple roadmap, really for two reasons. As you pointed out, the specific techniques and the specific approaches people take are sometimes different, right? Some people really like meditation. Some people don't like it. Some people like CBT. Some people don't. But there's still a path. There's a path that I've seen in thousands and thousands of people. So the question is, what is that path? And then exactly to the point that you just made, if you know there's a specific road you're supposed to follow, then if you get off the road, at least you know what you're trying to come back to. Instead of what happens a lot of times for people in recovery, which is they fall off even a little bit and they lose hope. They start to think to themselves, I'm never going to be able to make it. So the book is really written almost as a step-by-step guide. I use a lot of stories from people I've worked with. And I just want to explain to everybody who's reading, when we think of addiction or compulsive habits, we think of drinking, we think of smoking weed, we think of taking pills, and obviously opiates and heroin and everything that's made in the news for the last 10 to 15 years. But I think we need to be aware of a lot more. Overeating, technology addiction. A lot of men have massive technology addictions around porn, for instance, which is something I end up talking about in the book. And one that people don't often think about is work addiction. In our society, a lot of people run to work as a way to deal with discomfort emotionally, and that can still be a problem. That leads to broken homes, it leads to relationship problems, it leads to divorces.
You're right. And you know what I thought of, just speaking to you and having an opportunity to talk to you is what people get out of it is something that they can relate to. So often when you're in the spirals of, like you said, it could be work addiction, it could be porn addiction, it could be drug addiction, you feel so alone. You feel like you are the only person that this is happening to, that you're the only person going through this. But when you have that type of roadmap that's providing you, like you said, different aspects from different places and people that you've spoken to, the light bulb kind of goes off and goes, okay, I can do this. If somebody else has been through this and they can do it, then I can do it.
Exactly. And that's, by the way, that's why I use my own personal story, is I want people to know, they see somebody with a PhD and they think it's always been like this, but it wasn't. And I tell a lot of other stories of people who've lost their kids and got them back. People who are on the verge of losing their relationship and got them back. People who thought they were having heart attacks were having panic attacks and needed to deal. So I think everybody can find stories they relate to, including people who have loved ones who struggle with addiction. You'll be able to recognize something in your own life in this book and then be able to have some tools to take in your everyday life.
Oh my gosh. Well, I just got to say thanks. Thanks for taking the time to do this because, again, on your own journey of recovery, everything. Well, we want, people on the outside looking in, people that love you, people that want you to succeed, want you to only focus on yourself. And that's good. But you turned it around and you said, you know what? I can focus on myself and help other people. And I mean, I just think that's huge. So I can't let you get out of here without giving us a website where other people can get the book.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so the book's on pre-sale right now, and I'm giving some really special bonuses to people who buy it on pre-sale, including a special guide and a live workshop with me where we get to talk and I can help you one-on-one. And the website is www.adijaffe, that's just my name, ADIJFFE, /unhooked, the name of the book.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations on your success, and congratulations on the book. We can't wait to get it. I appreciate your time. It was good to meet you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me again, and best of luck and everything.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. All right, guys, we can do this. We can all do this together. Sometimes you just need a little help. You need a bit of a roadmap, depending on what it is. If it's, again, those cigarettes, or if it's, drugs and alcohol, or work even. Sometimes you just need a little direction. And that's what this book can do for you. Take the opportunity to go to the website and learn more. And stay tuned for more Focus Atlanta. We'll be right back.